Hey everybody, welcome to Raising Vibrations, and in today's video I'm continuing with the series I'm doing called The Path To, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Neptune and the path to spiritualization, okay, finding spirit. So I was inspired and really excited to actually do this video series simply because I feel it would give everybody a great opportunity to understand how evolutionary astrology interprets a chart, and also how you can go and get your own astrology, look at where these symbols are in your own chart, and explore it further and contemplate the nature of what this means for you in your life, and overall just connect you deeper with your own soul. That's definitely my main objective in this conversation today with you. And of course, to share with you a little bit more about how astrology can help you make that connection in a deeper way, or nurture it. Let's put it to that way, the connection's already there. Okay, so let's have a look. Neptune. Okay, so from evolutionary astrology point of view, Neptune represents the nature of the whispers of eternity, as Jeffrey Wolf Green called it, or coined it, right? And we're talking about how we connect with the meaning of our existence through something that we are very exclusively able to do. In other words, wherever Neptune sits in your chart, this is the part of yourself that you will find ultimate inspiration from, where you will find the deepest disillusionment, the most profound sense of surrender, and the path to true transcendence. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I mean that when you're looking at Neptune in your chart, you're looking at a part of your astrology in which this is where, because it's an outer planet, the nature of the symbol is always going to remain, to a certain degree, in a very abstract way, elusive. You're going to try to figure it out. It's not going to make sense to you. You're going to try to figure out. It's not going to make sense to you. And so it goes on. So from the point of view of understanding Neptune, this is very much the experience of letting your personal sense of will around what you think you want your life to be and how you've been conditioned by society and Saturn. And Neptune comes along and says, here's circumstances and situations that are outside your control from an ego perspective, that are ultimately bringing you into alignment with what the soul was wanting to show you. And the paradox of this experience is that the more we try to deny the fact that what we're going to experience is out of our hands, the more you're going to become aware of the pain and suffering that comes along with that type of ego attachment. Neptune does really, really bring us spirit in its most purest form, because there is nothing else that you can do. It's like just total surrender. But it's also the part of the chart where you hear the whispers of eternity, which is where we will uniquely experience ourselves as like this divine sense of mission that we bring to the world. So like for me, as an example, I have Neptune in the 11th house of the astrological chart, and my great delusion is that I will always look at the groups, I will always look at group dynamics, and I'll always find an ultimate meaning in the process, and I'll always bring the divine love and the ultimate sense of what this purpose was about and everything. And yet subjectively, this is exclusive to me, so it teaches us where we bring love and the highest inspiration from when it comes to group dynamics and individuality and stuff. But it's also where that's exclusive to us. We get to see that magic, but that's where we get to distribute that, as an example. So with this chart over here, you can all see that Neptune is conjunct Uranus in the chart. It's around about the 5 o'clock position on the chart. They're in Capricorn at 27 degrees, and it's retrograde. So step one, how we understand this is we look to the sign, we look to the planet that's in the 5th house. It's conjunct Uranus. And we then look to the sign that is influencing the 12th house cusp, which if you look to around about the 10 o'clock position on the chart, you'll see that the constellation Leo is there. And we will also look to where Pisces is being influenced as well, right? Pisces is the other sign that is co-ruling Neptune. So that sits on the 7th house cusp. So let's put this together in some sense, okay? If we look at the 5th house, if you've noticed, I actually put this chart together where I was using three repeating themes. So Neptune sits in the 5th house. And generally speaking, this is the type of soul that will come into this lifetime where outside of them, everybody got this sense of special destiny. Brother got more accolades, was appraised more from the parents. You weren't recognized, as it were. Let's just say this is you and this is your chart. And you've got that Neptune in that 5th house there. There's this tendency of having this sense of special destiny about you, and yet the path to actually being recognized for it comes through this deep surrender process in which you don't get recognized, and that develops these deep psychological feelings within inside of yourself saying, oh, I'm going to make this happen. And so you go and you actually spiritualize your life through finding meaning in your destiny and proving it in some way, shape, or form. And of course, there's many different levels to this process. You know, some can experience Neptune in the 5th house as a soul that is deeply, deeply unable to find their creative passion in the world and feel a deep sense of depression, absence of meaning, no inspiration, grasping onto illusions that are of grandeur. So here we have the constellation Leo ruling the 12th house, and it's a repeating theme, right? The 5th house of the astrological chart is the same as Leo, right? So we've got Neptune in the 5th and we've got Leo ruling the 12th. So you can see here from a karmic dynamic that the soul is very much invested in wanting to find their sense of special destiny, to creatively self-actualize in this lifetime, to come into the world and be recognized and validate. But they're actually teaching this to themselves. And that's the highest principle that is, you know, in the archetype of Leo is we are here to gift the world with our sense of creativity and destiny. And when we recognize that whatever our path is not one where we need that external validation as a way of proving to ourselves if this is correct or not, that's a developmental phase, but it's not the highest expression, and we're working towards that. So on the other hand, over here, we also see that Pisces is ruling that 7th house. So this is also a soul that comes into this lifetime with a very strong outside mask, a mask that is that projects onto other people. Other people see this Piscean realm and say, "Oh wow, you're so nebulous. You know, you're so free going and very much this person that's just like, you know, out there and going like, yeah, let's just do life in this way." And yet that Virgo on the ascendant is actually saying that this person's deeply looking for, you know, behavior patterns that are very linear and logical and make sense and pattern orientated. If you have a look at the South Node and Saturn, you can see that this is a soul that is also coming into this lifetime with a desire to want to liberate themselves from the past dynamics, especially in relationships. Now, why do I say liberation? Because Uranus and Neptune are right on top of each other. Okay. That Uranus and Neptune, in that conjunction over there, it talks about a soul that is wanting to find creative ways to bring their uniqueness to the world and to find inspiration in the expression of that. And with Saturn conjuncting the South Node there at the 7 o'clock position there, where in the 7th house, that is influenced by Pisces, you can see that there is this repeating theme of wanting to belong to people that are ultimately also looking for their creative direction through developing what boundaries there are. So Saturn talks about boundaries, whereas Neptune talks about no boundaries. So with Neptune ruling the 7th house, right, or Pisces ruling the 7th house, there's a soul that wants to creatively self-actualize and see themselves in relationship to other people by drawing boundaries, but also wanting to break free from whatever boundaries were created in the past as well. And the reason why I say break free is because there's a South Node there, and there's also Uranus on Uranus on your Neptune. So they're part of group dynamics that represent and searching for people that see themselves in new ways, but they're also trying to break down any associations of the past that they identified with. So the way that you would read Neptune in your charts, according to this, with this video and what I'm trying to inspire here, is to understand that Neptune, wherever it is in the house, Neptune, the 12th house that's being ruled, whatever sign that is. So in this case, it's Leo. You can always look to the sun as well. I don't want to complicate this. And then, of course, with the sign that's ruling the 7th house. So this is all about finding inspiration and creativity and being validated through relationships and finding relationships that they can put boundaries in place as well, but also develop relationships in a way that are healthy, that defines themselves. Now you can see how Neptune's also making a couple of aspects, and aspects are very important. Like there's a trine to the sun here, which indicates to me that this is a soul that has got a developed sense of creativity within this lifetime. Right? If there was a square, for instance, or if there was inconjuncts or any of those types of angles that were more stressful, you would probably find a greater struggle. So aspects, of course, play a very big role, and that's another element that you would want to be looking at. And lastly, I want to say here that when we're looking at the path to spirit, this is a soul that is seeking to find God through creativity, to find the meaning of existence through their creative pursuits. Okay, well, I really hope that this helped everybody today and gave you an insight into how to understand the path to spirituality. Neptune correlates to that in the chart, and the way that this person is going to do this through their creative endeavors. All right, my friends, thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed this video, and until then, take care. Bye-bye.